Survivor Series is coming up, folks. It's in a couple of weeks. This is 1991, and it's the WWF, as it was then, or as they call it now on those programmes, because they have some problems, don't they, with, it's now the WWE because of the World Wildlife Foundation, is that right? Foundation, is it, or is it Federation? No, it's Foundation, isn't it? And this is from the 16th of September 1991. That can't be right, can it? Because it's a Thanksgiving Day tradition. This is on YouTube, and they're talking about it being a couple of weeks away. Unless time works differently in 1991. It might have done. It was a long time ago. And it comes from the home, this, of Dr. Scholl, the foot care capital, apparently. And there's lots of jokes about the Macho one wants to fill some big shoes because I don't know if this actually was the case or whether they'd gone quiet on him already. I remember after SummerSlam, I saw some of the superstars of wrestling, and that's what I'm watching here, or have been watching, and reporting to you. Steve Smith's Rambling News. Diddly, 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 diddly. Here is the news. Yeah, look at that. My face lit up with the screen with my notes on. So, these glasses are a bit loose. But anyway, let's get them tightened up. But then that can affect your nose, particularly when you've got a nose like mine. Oh, look at that. So, I don't know whether it was something that was actually the case or whether he missed it. They'd gone a bit sour on him. It was Sid Justice, the erstwhile Sid Vicious, who was all over SummerSlam, and he did that popping his head through the curtain. Looked ridiculous, didn't it? But he came out to get the rub from Hogan because, not literally, that would have been awful. But I'm gonna put them on the top of my head because they're bothering me. Yeah, he came out to do the posing with him. Do. But now he's injured and he won't be able to be there with his team. So who do they want to fill those shoes? Big shoes, Dr. Scholl, you see. They want to be able to have Macho Man Randy Savage there. And he's not been reinstated yet, but of course he'd been badly treated at the reception for his wedding by Jake the Snake Roberts and by the Undertaker, particularly Jake the Snake. And he wants to be in the team that's facing Jake's team. That's the way it's worked out, you'll see. So you've got Jack Tunney saying, we're going to take this under advisement. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all, you know, so weak. Anyway, that's the main story on this one, and it's not a very good episode. Some of the teams are a bit disparate, but I'll tell you what you have got, which was extraordinary at the time from someone like me who watched WWF, or rather, and also read a lot and watched a bit of WCW and understood that it was razzmatazz versus wrestling, really, and Ric Flair was a wrestler. He was their big man, and you thought you'd never get a Flair versus Hogan match, never. Well, here's Ric Flair. He's come to the WWE with the big gold belt, the NWA belt, remember that? Of course, he will, famously, win the Royal Rumble in 92, my favourite Royal Rumble ever, it's wonderful. And he'll become the champion at that point, but here he is, having just arrived, making a lot of hoo-ha, 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 yes. They put him together with Heenan first, didn't they? And Mr. Perfect as well. And he lost his Intercontinental title to Bret Hart in a great match in SummerSlam. So, we've got first of all the Rockers versus Barry Horowitz and somebody else. Can I just do this? Barry Horowitz, you see, or, as he was often called, Barry Horriblewitz. Remember that? That was Sonny, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. Now, my eye went a bit screwy there. I think I pulled an eye muscle. Anyway, we've got the Rockers, who are the 90s team. Now, you're going to have the famous barbershop segment, aren't you? Where Jannetty is super kicked through a window by Shawn Michaels, and that's more or less the end of his career. We are going to have the new Rockers, aren't we? The new Lockers. New Lockers, lovely doors and locks that work. No, the new Rockers with Lee Cassidy, was he called? It was Al Snow, wasn't it? Anyway, I'll have a look at my notes. And here in this match, we've got an arm drag, a Jannetty arm drag, and a gut wrench suplex, which is nice, a power slam. And then Michaels is not in position for the tag. So Horowitz rolls Jannetty up, who then manages to reverse it and rolls him up himself and gets the pin. But that's not the point, is it? They're a little bit, hello. And Michaels doesn't look like he's apologising, which is not ideal, is it? Put my glasses down here because they're bothering me. They might fall off my head. Glasses mayhem. So, yeah, there's a little dissension in the ranks, and that's going to bubble, isn't it? Neidhart, apparently, that's Jim, who, of course, was in the Hart Foundation, but now Brett's flying solo and winning titles. He will be in the New Rockers, won't he? And then the New Foundation. Is he in the New Foundation, or is that Owen Hart and Coco Beware? I think it's that. But he's in the New Foundation, isn't he? With the Rocket, Owen Hart. We'll see them at WrestleMania. Not WrestleMania. At Royal Rumble 92. We will. Anyway, he's been beaten up by Flair, figure 4. And apparently he's been injured. He was on his way to the back, being carried. He was injured anyway. And Bo and Blake, the Beverly Brothers, with their manager, the Genius, pass him on the way in and think, I know, we'll beat him up. There's no reason for that, is there? So consequently, he's out of the Survivor Series. The whole idea is here, and one of the main storylines is that the Survivor Series is decimated. When you see some of the pairings, you'll wonder why they bothered. Anyway, Reno Riggins is facing Repo Man. They don't seem to like him very much. Certainly Roddy doesn't. And he's not got that thing yet, which I love. But they do talk about, you've not missed a payment, have you, Macho? I'm going to go and check my car. You didn't miss a payment, did you? No, I don't think so. So, yeah. We've got some shots and a slam, some punches, a kick, then a figure 4. It's slightly different to a figure 4. It's really essentially a figure 4. It's called Unique. It's not unique. It isn't great. Then he ties him up in the ropes. I think he must have stopped doing that very quickly. Ties him up in the ropes and then just sort of wanders around. It's weird. Right, here's Sean Mooney, Jake and his team of IRS and the Natural Disasters. They don't want Sid Justice to be replaced by Macho. Funnily enough. And then we've got Virgil and doing his little bit. Not great. I didn't steal this belt. I won it. And then you got Bulldog coming in, the British Bulldog coming in, doing a bit of something with Virgil. Now, Roddy's going to come in a minute, but I don't know if the British Bulldog thinks he is, or he's wondering what he's going to do, because while he's talking, he's looking over at him. And then he's in and they do a bit of shenanigans. It's that sort of thing. Then we've got Mean Gene with his Survivor Series report. And it's LOD, the boss man, and we don't know. We're not sure. So many teams are short. Ric Flair, Ted DiBiase, Mountie and the Warlord are teaming up. That's a disparate group, isn't it? Well, it was until I saw the team of Skinner, Colonel Mustafa, the Berserker and Big Bully Busick. What? I mean, they don't have any link at all, do they? Right, okay, so we've got Burt Styles and Tom Stone. Oh, yes. Versus the Natural Disasters. I wonder who's going to win. Typhoon lifts, I think it's Styles, and dumps him. Then either Stone or Styles on the corner. He's in the corner. He's standing in the corner with either Stones or Styles. Stone or Styles. There's not an S on that. And he's standing in the corner, and Earthquake runs in and does an avalanche on Typhoon, which of course flattens either Stones or Styles. Stone or Styles. But surely that would hurt Typhoon. I always thought that when I saw it. How can he be unscathed when in other matches? It's weird, isn't it? Maybe it was just that Typhoon had incredible intestinal fortitude. So, Typhoon then gets a high splash. Earthquake gets his sit down for the pin. And we've got the funeral parlour. Now, I'd forgotten this. Hogan is about to face the Undertaker, isn't he? His gravest challenge. And in comes Flair, gets right under Hogan's skin. He gets, well, let me tell you something, Ric Flair, as he rips his shirt off and the crowd start cheering. In comes the Undertaker, from behind, of course, with an urn. Flair takes the opportunity to both to stomp Hogan and to take both belts. In comes Piper and Macho, both with chairs. Piper smacks Flair with a chair, which seems to scare Flair, and he leaves from there. And then Macho smacks the Undertaker to no effect, and the Undertaker snatches the crucifix from round the neck of Hogan, who still grabs it, but it's a bit like Andre. You know what, in the lead up to WrestleMania 3, it's a bit like that. He really sells it though. Oh, I'm badly hurt. Oh, I'm bad. Oh God. Doesn't do anything like that, but he's, that sort of thing. Mike Samples then is facing the British Bulldog. There's a Bulldog slam throw. You've got Piper and Macho saying, we've just seen Hogan, and look at the look in his eyes. What was it like? Says McMahon, as if he didn't own the place, Well, we can't say professional courtesy. But he looked really worried. Oh, right. Tell me what he looked like. Well, you own him. Go and ask him yourself, Vince. Well, sort of own him. He owns the joint, doesn't he? Now, in the middle of this, the British Bulldog gets a running power slam for a pin, and that's it. Goodbye, Mike Samples, who's a big dude, And Sean Mooney tells us about the Hogan situation. The Hogan situation. It's like the Internecine Project. The Hogan situation. And that is your superstars for 1991 in September. It was crap. But it's shaping up to be very interesting. Having Flair there, right there, to scare, is lovely. And I might go and have a chocolate eclair. Ta-ta.